let us start. So next topic for our work energy theory, power energy is the vertical circular motion. Okay. Now this is also very important topic. Directly the problem has been asked from vertical circular motion. Okay. So in this we'll use the concept of circular motion also. We have to conserve the energy also. Everything we have to do here. Okay. Now let us suppose we have this a string some body of mass m. Let us suppose some body of mass m is attached with the help of the string. Okay, the center of the string length is l. Okay, the string length is l. Fine. Now if I give some velocity u at the bottom of this at if we give some velocity u, what will happen? This this mass will try to get the circular motion. Okay, fine. So if we give some velocity u at the bottom, this mass will try to complete the vertical circular motion. Okay. Now now we have to find how much velocity we should give so that it can complete the vertical circular motion. Okay. Or if the velocity is less than that, then what will happen? Everything we will have to do that. Okay. Now let us suppose we have some body of mass m attached with the help of the string with the center O. Mass of the body is m. The mass of the body is m. We have given some velocity u. Because of that velocity, it get displaced to some point P. It get displaced to some point P. Okay. Now this if I take this initial position as reference point, this is the reference point we can say here. This is the reference point. Then we can see that from reference point, this mass has been displaced by how much distance? H distance. H is the distance which is displaced by the reference point. Okay. Now let us suppose this string makes an angle theta from the vertical. Now can you say that if I take this point as A, the bottom point as A, this is point P. Okay. This is height H. Okay. So from here, can we find the value of this length A to B, O to B? So we can say this is OB. This is a B. Wait. Okay. This height is H. This height is H, and this length will be equal to how much? L cos theta. This length will be equal to L cos theta. Now, now in vertical circular motion, since we know that this motion is due to the gravitational force, and gravitational force are conservative force, so therefore we can conserve the energy there. Okay, so here energy conservation can be possible. Okay, so by energy conservation we can say that initial energy must be equal to final energy. If I take the initial energy at A, the initial energy at A will be only kinetic energy, because we have taken A as reference point. So that would be equal to how much? Half mu square is the initial kinetic energy. That should be equal to what? Now, how much energy which we have provided from this energy, this mass has been displaced to point B up to height h, which means it has gained some potential energy mgh, and and at this particular point it has some velocity v. Okay, so can we write here as half mv square? Understand? So what we have done, this was the mass m. We have given some initial velocity u. Due to this initial velocity u, this mass will try to try to move in a circular motion. Since this circular motion is under the action of gravity, so we can say as a vertical circular motion. Okay. Now this u velocity which we have given at point A. Okay, fine. Let us suppose we have taken some point P. The velocity at that point becomes v. Okay, then by according to energy conservation, half mu square must be equal to mgs plus half mv square. Now what is the value of h? Now we can say from this figure, h will be equal to how much? H will be equal to L minus L cos theta, because this OB is how much? L cos theta. Therefore, H will be equal to L minus L cos theta. So if you just substitute this value, okay, we'll get the velocity at point B. Okay, I have solved this. The velocity at point B will come as u square minus 2gl 1 minus cos theta. So velocity at any point P will be equal to u square minus 2gl 1 minus cos theta, where theta we have taken from the vertical. Okay, the theta we have taken from the vertical. Okay, understand? That is the velocity of the body at some point P. Okay, now see, if we have taken this as string, okay, this block is attached with the help of the string of tension T. Now because of this tension only, this this mass can move in a circular motion. Okay, so we have to find the tension in the string at some point P. Okay, so if you take again this point P, this was the initial position A. Okay, this was the position at point B. This is the length L. Okay, this angle was theta. So this is the tension of the string T. Fine. Now can we find the tension of the string at this point P? Okay. Now if you see on this point P, if I take the force analysis here, we have mg which is acting downward. Okay, fine. Then we have what, centripetal force. Okay, that is a centrifugal force which is acting outward direction, that is mv square by l, mv square by r. R will be equal to l here. Okay, now this mg will have two components. One will be along the circular motion, this component, that is mg sine theta, and other component will be along this direction, that is mg cos theta, because if you are taking this as theta, this would be again equal to theta. So if you find here, we can see that tension T must be equal to mv square by L plus mg cos theta. Okay, so from here we can write this as what? Take m common. We can write here as g cos theta plus v square by L plus v square by L. So tension will be g cos theta plus v square by L. Now what is v here? V is the velocity of the body. V is the velocity of the body at point P. And what is the value of that velocity? That is square root of u square minus 2gl 1 minus cos theta. So if you simply substitute that value, means if we substitute the value of v square, v from this equation which we have discussed there, we get the value of tension there. Okay, so tension would become as m by L. Okay, u square minus gl 2 minus 3 cos theta. So tension at any point will be equal to m by L u square minus gl 2 minus 3 cos theta. Okay, fine. Did you get this or not? Fine. So at any point P, the velocity of the body will be equal to u square minus 2gl 1 minus cos theta, where theta is the angle with the string makes with the vertical, and the tension at any point will be given by m by L u square minus gl bracket 2 minus 3 cos theta. Okay, now if we see here, simply if we see here, we can have we can divide this circle into 4 equal parts. Okay, like this is the initial position A, where the block, where the mass has started. Okay, this is point B. Point B means when the mass has traveled 90 degree. Then point C, which is the topmost point, and point D. Okay, fine. Now if I have to find the tension at point A, okay, so tension at point A, how can we find? Now tension at point A will be what? If you look at this tension expression, m by L u square minus gl minus 2 cos theta. Now theta will be equal to how much? The theta will be equal to 0 degree when point A, when we have taken this point A, the theta, the string will make an angle 0 degree with the string makes an angle of 0 degree with the vertical. Okay, this is the string. Fine. So can we find the value of tension TA? TA will be equal to how much? That is mVA square, velocity at point B, plus mg. Okay, or if you can substitute the value of this if you can substitute the value in this expression, Then tension at A will be equal to how much? M by L U square minus GL 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 means minus 1. Minus 1 multiply here is GL. So we can write it as what? Mu square by L plus Mg. Okay. Similarly, we can find the tension at point B by using the above expression. Okay. That would be equal to how much? That will be M by L. M by L. This would be U square minus GL 2 minus 3 cos theta. This is the expression of tension at any point. Okay. Now when this string reaches point B, how much angle it is making? 90 degree. Cos 90 is 0 there. So can you write here as tension at B will be equal to M by L U square minus 2 GL. Okay, because cos theta is 0 there. Okay, fine. So we get tension at point B. Similarly, we can find the tension at point C, and tension at point D can also be found. Okay, fine. So tension at point B will be equal to how much? That is mu square by L minus 2 mg minus 2 mg. Tension at point B. Similarly, tension at point C. Now when the string reaches C, how much angle it makes with the vertical? That is 180 degree. Okay. So cos of 180 degrees minus minus 1. So if you substitute the value here, tension at C will be equal to m by L u square minus GL. Cos of 180 is minus 1. Minus 1 into minus 3 is plus 3 into 5 GL. Okay, so we get m by L u square minus 5 GL. So in this way, we can find the tension at any point of the string. So similar, simple thing is that you just need to remember this formula. Tension at any point is given by m by L u square minus GL 2 minus 3 cos theta. Okay, and theta you have to take from vertical. Okay, so if A is there, theta is 0. If B is there, 90 degree. If C is there, 180 degree. Fine. Okay. Now next is how much minimum velocity we should provide at the bottom so that it can just complete the circular motion. Okay. Now if you look at this circular motion here, now who is responsible? Who is responsible for circular motion? Basically, the okay, who's responsible for circular motion? That is what? Okay, who is responsible for circular motion? The factor which is responsible for circular motion is tension. Okay, if tension becomes 0 at any point, then we can say that the the particle will not complete the circular motion. Okay, so let us suppose that this was the string which we have taken. Okay, on the string we have attached mass m, we have given some velocity u at the bottom. What is the minimum velocity we should provide at the bottom so that it just completes the circular motion? It just completes the circular motion means it just reaches point B. Now, for completing the circular motion, tension at points B should be greater than 0. Or for the minimum condition, if it becomes 0 also, then also that would be the minimum velocity which should be provided. So, for completing the circle, tension at C should be equal to 0. Okay. Now, what is the value of tension at C? We have already found tension at C will be equal to how much? That would be mu square by L minus 5 mg is the tension at C. Okay. So, tension at C will be equal to mu square by L minus 5 mg minus 5 mg. This expression we have got from the this expression which we have done here. Okay, so T is equal to mu square by L minus mg. To complete the circular motion, tension should be 0, means it should be greater than or equal to 0. Minimum condition is 0. Okay, so from there we can get the value of u, that would be equal to root of 5 gl. So if the velocity at the bottom is root 5 gl, then this particle will complete the circular motion. Okay, similarly, can we find what is the value, how much velocity we should give so that it just reaches point B? Okay, for reaching the point B, we have to see what? We have to see the tension at point B. Okay, and the tension at point B, fine, and then we can get the value of B. Any expression we can get. Okay, So if velocity is root 5 gl, then it will be able to complete the circular motion. Okay. Did you understand this or not? Okay. Now to reach point B, how much velocity we should give at the bottom? Okay, to reach point B, the tension at the bottom, tension at B will be equal to how much? Tension at B will be equal to, that would be equal to mu square by L minus 2 mg. Now, when it just reaches point B, the tension at B becomes 0. So again, we can get the value of U to reach point B. That would be equal to root of 2gl. Okay, so to reach point B, the minimum velocity should be root 2gl. To reach point C, it is root 5gl. And if the velocity is between root 5gl and root of 2gl, greater than root 2gl and less than root 5gl, it would be somewhere between B and C. Okay, the particle would be somewhere between B and C if the velocity lying between the two limits, that is root 5gl and root 2gl. Okay, understood. Okay, so we'll do some problem. Any doubt? This one. See, basically, see, if you just remember these two formula, first formula, see, I have derived the formula. Simply, you can remember this formula that velocity at any point, okay, in a circular motion, vertical circular motion will be u square minus 2gl 1 minus cos theta, and tension at any point will be equal to m by l u square minus gl 2 minus 3 cos theta. Okay, if you remember these two formula, you can find the velocity at any point. Okay, and you have to simply remember this concept that whenever tension becomes zero, okay, the body will not complete the circular motion. So to complete the circular motion, the tension should be present. Okay, that is what we have found here. If tension at C becomes zero, then your velocity is root 5gl, which means if the minimum velocity which we give is root 5gl, it will complete the circular motion. If the velocity is root 2gl, then it will complete the, then it can reach up to point B. If it is lying between root 5gl and the root 2gl, it would be between B and C. Okay, fine. Any doubt? Okay, next. Okay, now if you look at this problem, a particle of mass m is tied with the string of length L. The length of string is L, is released from horizontal position as shown in the figure. What is the velocity at the lowest point? Okay, string length is L, so this length will again be L itself. Okay, so we are releasing this ball from the horizontal position. Can you find the velocity at the lowest point? Lowest point means we can say this point A is the lowest point. Now here, even if you don't know the concept of vertical circular motion, we can find the answer. Okay, how can we find the answer? Simply applying the conservation of energy. Okay, if you take point A as a reference point, if I take point A as a reference point, the potential energy at point A will be equal to 0. Okay, fine. And when this ball reaches this point A, it has some velocity v. Okay, and we are releasing the ball. Releasing the ball means velocity, initial velocity should be equal to 0 there. So if you apply the conservation of energy, initial energy should be equal to final energy. What is the initial energy? That is potential energy initial plus kinetic energy initial should be equal to potential energy final plus kinetic energy final. Okay, what is the initial potential energy? That is mgl. Initial kinetic energy 0, final potential energy 0 because we have taken A as reference point, and velocity at that point is v. So final kinetic energy will be half m v square. So m get cancelled out, so we get will be root 2gl. Okay, now if you look at this condition, okay, if you look at the vertical circular motion, what is the condition to reach point B? Root 2 GL. So if you release the ball from B also, when it reaches the lowest point, its velocity become root 2 GL. Okay. So if you think one more point, basically the energy is being conserved here. Okay. Whatever energy at A, if it reaches B, okay, that energy will be converted. Okay. Fine. So velocity at the lowest point will be equal to root 2 GL. Fine. Now the next is that a 4 kg ball swing in a vertical circular at the end of the chord of 1 meter. Okay. Find the maximum speed at which it swings if the chord sustain the maximum tension. Okay. Can you solve this problem? Now, can you get the answer for this? That a 4 kg ball swings in a vertical circular motion at the end of the chord of length 1 meter. Okay. Find the maximum speed at which it will swing if the chord sustain the maximum tension. Okay. Okay. Now we can see here, this is a string. Okay. The ball is attached at this point. Now can you tell me, if we look at this derivation which we have done, the tension at any point in a vertical circular motion is given by m by l u square minus gl 2 by 3 minus 2 minus 3 cos theta. Now can you tell me at which point the tension would be maximum? The tension would be maximum if theta is 0 degree. Okay, then only the tension would be maximum at any point. Tension would be maximum at the lowest point. So that the lowest point, the tension would be maximum. Okay. So at point A itself, the tension is maximum. Okay. Now draw the free body diagram here. If we draw the free body diagram here, tension will be acting upward like this. Mg would be acting downward. And since the ball has maximum speed, means we have given some velocity v at this point tangentially, it will have centrifugal force that would be equal to mv square by l. Okay, so from this we can write here as the tension T must be equal to mv square by r plus mg. Okay, fine. So we have to find the maximum speed here. So tension is given to us how much? 104. Okay, mass is 4, velocity is v square, length of the chord is 1 plus 40. So we can write here as 104 minus 40 by 4 equal to v square. Now if you solve this, you will get the velocity around 4 meter per second. So velocity of this will be 4 meter per second. So here important point was, the most important point which we have to see here is the maximum tension of the chord. The maximum tension of the chord would be at point A, the lowest point. Okay, fine. Did you all understand this or not? Okay, next. The next is that a ball is released from height h, which of the condition hold? uh, condition for the condition for the particle to complete the circular motion. You can see here a ball is released from some height h on an inclined plane. What is the condition so that it completes the circular motion? Okay, it completes the circular motion. What should be the condition so that it completes the circular motion? We can assume the mass of the block is m, the radius of the circular path is r. Okay. Can you get the answer for this? Okay, what is the condition? Okay, now just think one point. When it can complete a circular motion, if the velocity at the bottom is equal to root 5 gr, like we have done the condition there, what is the minimum condition for a complete circular motion? That is root 5 gr, which means velocity at the bottom of the circular path, say point B, should be equal to root 5 gr. Okay, now when you are releasing this ball from this height h, what is the velocity when it reaches the ground? Okay, so velocity of the ball when it reaches the ground will be equal to root 2gh. Okay, simply we can conserve the energy moment, we can conserve the momentum there, energy there. Okay, if we conserve the energy there, energy conservation, then we can say here that energy at this point A should be equal to energy at point B. Energy at point A will be mgh plus 0 equal to half mvb square plus 0, if you take this as a reference point. So we can see that velocity when it reaches the ground, that would be equal to root 2gh. So velocity when it reaches the ground, when it reaches the ground is root 2gh. Okay. Now when can it complete a circular motion? If the velocity which this ball is reaching is root 2gh is greater than the minimum requirement velocity for complete circle, that is what? Root 5 gr. Okay. So from here we can say that h should be greater than equal to 5 by 2 r. So if the height is greater than 5 by 2 r, it will complete the circular motion there. Okay. So that is the condition for complete circular motion, which means h should be greater than 5 by 2 r. Fine. Next, the next problem is that a circular over bridge having the radius, circular over bridge having the radius of 20 meter, what is the maximum velocity speed with which the car can cross the bridge without leaving the contact with the overbridge at the highest point? Okay, so we have a circular bridge like this. Okay, a car is moving with some velocity v on the circular track of velocity v. What is the maximum speed it can go so that it doesn't loses the contact with the bridge? Fine. Can you get the answer for this? Now here one thing you have to understand there, whenever the particle move in circular motion, like particle is attached with the string, then the centrifugal force is provided by the centripetal force is provided by the string. When it is moving with on the circular bridge, okay, then who is providing the centripetal force? That is the normal reaction of the bridge on the block. Okay, the normal reaction of the bridge on the block will provide us the centripetal force. And when can you have what is the maximum speed? Which means maximum speed is only possible so that it will not leave the contact with the bridge. So when the body leaves the contact with the bridge, the normal reaction becomes zero. Okay. So how much maximum speed we can have so that there is no loss of contact of the body with the bridge. Okay. Let us suppose that velocity v is velocity of the car is v. Okay. Circular radius of the circular track of radius 20 meter is present to us. Okay. Now if you draw the free body diagram here, mg will be acting downward, Because of the velocity, we have the centripetal force. Okay, that will be upward, that is mv square by r. And since this bridge is in contact with the car, it will have normal reaction also. The normal reaction will be upward. So if you dot of if we write the force equation here at this point, we can write here as normal plus mv square by r should be equal to mg. So the condition so that it will not lose contact is when the normal reaction becomes zero. So we can write here as mv square by r should be equal to mg. Therefore, velocity should be equal to root rg. Okay, radius is given to us as 20, g is 10, so root of 200. Okay, that will come as radius is 20 and g is 10. Okay, so it would be root 200. It will come approximately as 14 meter per second. So maximum velocity it can have is 14 meter per second, so that it doesn't lose its contact with the bridge. Okay, fine. The next problem. A ring rotates about z axis as shown in the figure in xy plane. Okay. At a certain instant, the acceleration of the particle p on the ring is 6 I cap plus minus 8 j cap meter per second. At that instant, what is the angular acceleration and the angular velocity of the ring? Okay, so acceleration at point P is given to us as 6 I cap plus minus 8 j cap meter per second square. At that instant, we have to find the angular acceleration and we have to find the angular velocity of the ring. Now, whenever the particle move in a circular motion, it has two acceleration. One is what? Tangential acceleration. So whenever we have okay, so whenever the particle moves in a circular motion, it will have two acceleration. One is centripetal, other is tangential. Fine. So tangential will act along the tangent to the circle, that is 80, and centripetal force will act along the towards the radius, towards the center along the radius, that is AC. Okay. Now the acceleration of the particle at point P is given by 6 I cap minus 8 j cap meter per second squared. Now if you think on this point, the tangential acceleration is along x-axis. So we can write here as AT must be equal to 6 I cap, and centripetal force will be along y-axis. So AC will be equal to how much? That would be equal to 8 minus 8. Minus 8 is the centripetal acceleration. Or if I take the magnitude itself, it would be what? 8 only. Magnitude would be 8. Okay, fine. Now we know the tangential acceleration AT must be equal to alpha into r. Okay, fine. So we can write here as 6 equal to alpha. We have to find radius of the circle is given to us. Radius radius is not given to us. Okay, or it's given to us. Okay, so radius is not given to us. So we can say that alpha must be uh, the alpha must be equal to 6 by r. Okay, next we can find centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration must be equal to omega square r. Okay, centripetal is how much? 8. 8 must be equal to omega square into r. So we can find the value of omega. Omega will be equal to square root of 8 by r. Okay, so we can take r as 1 meter. Okay, then answer would be what? Alpha will be equal to 6 radian per second square, and omega will be equal to root 8 by r, which means 2 root 2 radian per second is omega now. Okay, fine. So that is the answer for this. Alpha will be equal to 6 radian per second, and omega will be equal to 2 root 2 radian per second. It should be radian per second square, not radian per second. Okay, radian per second square. Fine. Next. Okay, the next problem is that a particle of mass m slides from the vertex of the hemisphere without initial velocity. At what height from the horizontal will the particle leave the sphere? Okay, so we can see here, this is the hemisphere here. Okay, this is the hemisphere like this. The particle is released from this hemisphere. Okay, release means without any initial velocity, we have released the hemisphere. Okay, now at what height from the horizontal means, let us suppose this particle reaches point B. Okay, now at what height from the horizontal will the particle leave this, hemisphere? Okay, now let us suppose it leaves the hemisphere at point P. Okay, now this angle is theta. Okay, now what we can do here? Now can we find the can we find the force there at point P? Okay, so if you look at the force there, first of all mg will be acting downward like this. Second, normal reaction will be there, that is perpendicular to the surface. Okay, the block will have some velocity v. Okay, now this angle is theta. Fine. Now can the mg will have two component. One will be along the center, towards the center, that is mg cos theta. This is what mg cos theta. Other would be along tangential, that is mg sin theta. Since this block will have some velocity, we will have centripetal force, that is mv square by r. Okay, so at point P, at point P, the mg cos theta minus normal should be equal to mv square by r. Okay, so if you look at this, we can write here as mg cos theta minus normal must be equal to mv square by r. Okay, now if this particle leaves the hemisphere, the normal contact will be zero, because if it is leaving the hemisphere, the contact the contact force will be zero there. So we can see that velocity at that point will be equal to v square, that is rg cos theta. So velocity at point B will be equal to rg cos theta, and we have to find the height from the, what is the height from the horizontal where the particle is leaving the sphere. Okay, so velocity at point B will be equal to v square equal to rg cos theta. Now we can conserve the energy from point initial point A to point B. We can conserve the energy. Okay, so if you conserve the energy at point A, which means energy at A should be equal to energy at B. P, energy at P. What is the energy at A? Energy at A is only the potential energy. So if you take this as a reference point, what is the potential energy? mgr. Okay, so energy at A will be equal to mgr. Okay, energy at point B. Now energy at point B will be first kinetic energy, that is due to the velocity half mv square, where v is the velocity of the particle at this point, plus the potential energy, that is mgh. Okay, so energy at point B will be equal to mgh. Now I think a mass can get cancelled out, so we'll get something like velocity at that point v square must be equal to 2 gr minus gh. Correct na? 2gr minus gh. Okay. Now v square value we know that is rg cos theta. Okay. So v square will be equal to rg cos theta. So can we put here as rg cos theta must be equal to 2g, we can take common, r minus h. So I think g and g will get cancelled out. Okay, fine. And what is cos theta here? Now if you look at it is base upon hypotenuse, base is h, hypotenuse is r. Okay, so that would be equal to how much? R into h by r must be equal to 2 r minus h. R got cancelled out. Okay, so we get what? H equal to 2r minus 2h. Therefore h must be equal to 2 by 3 r. Okay, so at height of 2 by 3 r from the bottom of the hemisphere, the particle will lose the contact with the surface of the hemisphere. Okay, did you all are getting this or not? At least say a yes or no. Otherwise, I'll think like you all are getting or not. So these, see, vertical circular motion is important. They will directly ask the question from this. Okay. Any doubt is that you can ask me. Okay, very good. Fine. These are the very good problem I have collected. Okay, so if you just listen these problems, you may able to solve all the problems in vertical circular motion or work power energy. Okay, so I have taken very good problems. Fine. Next. Okay, the next problem is that a particle of mass 100 gram is suspended from the end of the weightless string of length 100 centimeter is allowed to swing in the vertical plane. Okay, so we can see here, this is the string. This is the string. On that string, we have attached a block ball here. This is the string from O to A is the string here. Okay, fine. So we have attached a particle of mass 100 gram is suspended from the end of the weightless string of mass length 1 meter, 100 centimeter means what? 1 meter we can write here as 100 centimeter means length is equal to 1 meter, and it's allowed to swing in the vertical plane. The speed of the mass is 200 centimeter per second. Okay, when the string makes an angle of 60° with the vertical. Okay, so when this string reaches at some angle 60° from the vertical, its velocity here at this point is given by 2 meter per second. Okay, when the string makes an angle of 60° from the vertical, determine the tension at 60°. Okay, so we can directly use the formula or we can use by the conventional method. Okay, conventional method, what we have to do? First of all, we have to assume that the velocity at the bottom is u. Okay, then you have to draw the free body diagram of this string. Okay, mg will be acting downward, mg component will be acting along the directions. Okay, fine, these things we have to do, and then we have to find the tension. Or simply you can see here the derivation which we have done, that at any point tension at any point tension at any point will be equal to m by l u square minus gl 2 minus 3 cos theta. Okay, but here u is the initial velocity at the bottom, but the velocity at this point is given to us. Okay, which means we have to find the initial velocity u. Okay, now to find this u, if we can find this u, we can directly use this formula and get the answer for the tension at any point. Okay, but we have to first find the u here. Now how can we find the u? U can be found by energy conservation. Okay, by energy conservation we can find the u. Or if you don't want to find the u, simply what we can do, instead of using this formula, we can draw the free body diagram of the particle at this point. Okay, so if you draw the free body diagram, we will have mg which is acting downward, and mg will have two components along the tangent, along the string and along the tangent. If this is 60°, this should be 60°. Okay, fine. So this would be what? Mg cos theta. Okay, this will be mg sin theta. Tension will be acting along this direction. Then we have centrifugal force, that is mv square by r. So if we balance the force here, we get one equation. Tension must be equal to mg cos theta plus mv square by r. Okay, so we get one equation here as mg cos theta plus mv square by r. Okay, so I think we can directly just substitute the value there. Okay, mass is 100 gram, means 0.1 into 10. Okay, so mass we can take common itself. Okay, g cos theta. Cos theta value is how much? Cos 60 is half, so g by 2 plus v. Velocity at this point is 2 square. My radius is given as how much? Radius is the length of the string, that is 1 meter. Okay, just we need to just put the values here. We'll get mass is how much? 0.1. This g by 2 is 5 plus 4. So the answer would be 0.9 Newton. Okay, so answer will be 0.9 Newton is the answer here. Okay, so we can do by either method. The formula which I have given to you, in that formula we should know the value of u there. U value we don't know. Okay, either you directly find you find the u value and then put the value equation of u in that equation, or simply you balance the force at this point and get the answer. Okay, so answer would be equal to 0.9 Newton. Okay, now next problem. In a vertical circular motion, the tension at the highest point is equal to the weight of the particle. So tension at the highest point is equal to the weight of the particle. Find the tension at the lowest point. The mass of the particle. The mass of the particle is 10 kg. Okay, the mass of the particle is 10 kg. It is 10 kg, and the length of the string is 10 meters. Okay, the length of the string is 10 meters. Okay, we have to find the speed and tension of at the lowest point. Okay, we have to find the tension at the lowest point. Okay, so at this point we have the tension equal to the weight of the particle. So if we assume the mass is 10 kg, so if you draw the free body diagram here, when the particle at the highest point, it has some velocity v. Okay, mg will be acting downward, tension will also be downward, centrifugal force will be mv square by r, which is outwards. Okay, so at the highest point we can write here as, if we balance the force, tension plus mg must be equal to mv square by r. Okay, tension plus mg must be equal to mv square by r. At highest point, tension and mg are same itself. Okay, the tension and mg are same itself. So we can see here, we can assume tension is equal to mg only. So 2 mg must be equal to mv square by r. So from here we can get the value of v square. V square will be equal to 2 2rg. So v square is equal to 2rg. So at highest point, velocity is v square equal to 2rg. Now we have to find the tension and the speed at the lowest point. Okay, so let us suppose speed at the lowest point is u. The radius of the string is r or l. L or r, whatever we want to take, we can take here. Okay, now if we conserve the energy from the lowest point and the highest point. Okay, so if we conserve the energy, let us suppose lowest point is a and highest point is b. So energy at a will be equal to energy at b. Energy at a is equal to energy at b. What is energy of a? Energy of a will be the kinetic energy. So if you take A as reference point, potential energy will be 0 there. Okay. So energy at A will be equal to half mu square. Potential energy is 0. At B, velocity is kinetic energy is half mv square plus potential energy will be equal to how much? That is mgr plus mgr. That is 2 mgr. Okay. That would be equal to how much? 2 mgr. Okay. So I think we can cancel out on all the sides. We can get u square equal to, and if we take 2 as LCM, we can write here as v square plus 4gr. Now velocity at the highest point is given as how much? 2rg. Okay, that would be equal to 2rg plus 4gr. That is equal to 6gr. So u square equal to 6gr. Okay, fine. So I think we just need to substitute the value here. U square equal to 6 into 10 into radius is how much? 10 meters. Okay, into 10. 2 how 2 mgr? See, energy at point, if you take A as reference point, okay, then potential energy at A will be 0. Potential energy at B will be equal to, see, how much height it has covered. That is 2r. This is 2r, na? So potential energy at B will be equal to mg into 2r, because this is r, this is r. So this is 2r. So potential energy will be equal to 2 mgr. Okay. So u square will come as how much? 600 root of 600. Okay. So u will be equal to square root of 600 meter per second. So velocity at lowest point will be equal to root of 600 meter per second. Now next part, we have to find the tension at the lowest point. So to find the tension at the lowest point, again draw the free body diagram here. Mg will be acting downward at A, tension will be acting upward, centrifugal force will be acting away from the center, that is mu square by r. Okay, so if you balance the force here, we balance the force here, we'll get at the lowest point, tension must be equal to mg plus mu square by r. Okay, so mg plus u square value is how much? 6gr. Okay, so that would be equal to 6gr by r, which means 7 mg is the tension at the lowest point. So 7, mass is given as how much? Mass is 10, gravity is 10, so we get 700 Newton is the tension at the lowest point. So tension at the lowest point will be equal to 700 Newton. Okay, I hope you understood this. Fine. Did you understand how it is 2 mgr? The potential energy at point B will be 2 mgr. Okay. The next problem is that a moving block of mass m collides with another stationary block of mass 4m. Okay. The lighter block comes to rest after collision. The lighter block comes to rest after collision. Okay. When the initial velocity of block is v, find the coefficient of restitution E. Okay. Can you get the answer for this? A moving block of mass m collides with another stationary block of mass 4m. Okay. So if you draw here, this is block of mass m. It collides with the stationary block of mass 4m. Okay. It was initially, let us suppose initial velocity is, initial velocity was v. Okay. It collides with the block of 4m which was at rest. Okay. Means velocity was 0 there. Okay. So this is, we can take v is 0 here, v1 at 0 here. Okay. Now lighter block comes to rest after collision. Okay. then what is the, this is before collision, before. After collision, the lighter mass velocity becomes 0, okay, and 4m velocity, say v dash we can take, okay, fine. Then we know that during collision, what is conserved? The linear momentum is conserved during the collision, okay. So if you conserve the linear momentum, what was the initial momentum? Initial momentum was equal to mv. Initial momentum was mv, okay, mv plus 0, because heavier mass was velocity was 0. Then final momentum is mv dash, okay, which is the momentum of the heavier block, plus 0, plus 0. So we get v dash equal to how much? 4 mv dash, okay. So v dash was equal to v by 4, which means velocity of the heavier block will come as v by 4. Now we have to find the coefficient of restitution there. Coefficient of restitution means velocity of the, it is a relative velocity of separation by relative velocity of separation by relative velocity of approach, okay. Now if you take the separation there, separation is v dash, okay, separation is v dash, and approach was v minus 0. Separation was v dash minus 0, and approach is v minus 0, okay. So we can simply write here as v, okay. So I think we can get v dash is v by 4, so v by 4 by v, which means e will be equal to 0.25. So value of e will come as 0.25, okay. Next, the two identical balls, the two identical ball of A and B having velocity 0.5 meter per second and 0 minus 0.3 meter per second respectively collides elastically in one dimension. The velocities of B and A after the collision respectively will be, okay. So collision is elastic collision there. Yes, answer is 0.3 and minus 0. Yes, we can simply use the concept which I have discussed there. When the two identical balls are there, okay, of mass m, this is moving with the velocity 0.5 meter per second. This is moving with the velocity of 0.3 meter per second. Minus means we are taking this direction in negative there, okay. They collide. So whenever they collide elastically, the velocities are interchanged. So if the velocity is interchanged, then velocity of B becomes what? Velocity of A before collision, that is 0.5 meter per second. And what is the velocity of A? That would be velocity of B before collision, that is 0 minus 0.3 meter per second. Directly we can get the answer as 0.5 meter per second and minus 0.3 meter per second. Okay, fine. So the answer would be 0.5 and minus 0.3 meter per second. Okay, now next, on a frictionless surface, a block of mass m at a speed v collides elastically with another block of mass capital M, which was initially at rest. After collision, the first block moves at an angle of theta to its original direction, and the speed is v by 3. Find the second block speed after collision. Okay, here collision was elastically collision. So elastic collision will be what? Means energy will be conserved. Okay, so we can see there a block of mass capital M. Okay, it collides with another block of M. When it collides, then one block moves an angle of v by 3. Okay, one moves with the velocity v by 3, okay, with makes an angle theta from the initial position, and second will move with the velocity of say v dash. Okay, fine. We have to find the velocity v dash there. Okay, so since the collision elastic, its velocity was v, initial velocity of the block was 0. Okay, so we can here we can say we can write here as what energy is conserved, which means half mv square must be equal to half of m v by 3 whole square plus half m v dash square. So we get one equation from this. Okay, then what we have to do, so if you solve this equation we get v square must be equal to v square by 9 plus v dash whole square. Okay, so we get one equation from this. Okay, so we can see get the value of v dash here. So v dash will be equal to how much? That would be 8 by 9 v square is equal to v dash. So v dash value will come as 2 root 2 by 3 v. Okay, fine. So directly we can conserve the energy and get the answer for this. Okay, so time is up. Okay, thank you all.